Hello Chocks and Chockettes, there in between, Chocolate Bit here for another video review. This time the Thornton's Caramel Shortcake Bites, the milk chocolate variety. Yeah, because there's a white chocolate version for these ones. Yes, I've got those to review after this. Basically the same thing but with white chocolate on top. What does it say? Delicious shortcake squares covered with an indulgent creamy caramel layer and topped with smooth milk chocolate. It's like is it billionaires or millionaires shortcake bites? Yes, so don't know why I don't call them that. Maybe it's trademarked, I don't know, but yeah. There's a description on the back. Shortcake squares, covered with a caramel layer and topped with milk chocolate, which is basically the same thing. Biscuit base 44%. Palm oil it's got as well. Anything else? Chocolate 11%. Then per 100 grams, 496 calories. So again, below the 500 to 550 threshold. That's usually there for chocolate bars per 100 grams. 29 grams of fat, 16.5 which are saturates. That I say is kind of, that threshold is something made up by me, by the way. It's just something that I sort of seem to say that, or seem to have found that most chocolate bars fall under. So it's a bit better calories, just only slightly per 100 grams. Per serving, 12 grams, presumably per cube, per square. Well, per cube really. 60 calories, 3.5 grams of fat, 2 of which are saturates. Does it have anything else at the bottom? Suitable for vegetarians. 10 servings. There we go. Anything here? So it's produced by Finsbury Food Group, under license from Thornton. So basically, it isn't made by Thornton themselves. So if you do see all their cake stuff, does seem to be licensed out. Basically, some of them. I think these ones are a bit of a better quality than the Light Body Ventures ones. Yeah. So design 19. Film can't currently be recycled. PET plastic. I think PET is something else and plastic's underneath, I'm not sure, but there we go. Presumably to do with plastic. Okay. What we have noticed with these ones, again, is there's lots of wasted space. And I think there'll be less in these ones, but I did just review the billionaire brownie bites, whatever they're called, and they had lots of, you could basically fit in, there's 5 of them in the pack, you could fit in 12 at least, just about the flourishes, and an extra couple with the flourishes. So yeah. Okay, look, an interesting one. There's nice packaging. I think it looks quite nice. Definitely looks of a quality, this one, as opposed to those Light Body Ventures ones, which look a bit cheap. I think they've done quite a good job of having the Thornton's brand, and you would actually say that this does look like a Thornton's product. So those Light Body Venture ones don't achieve that really. They look very cheap. But yeah, let's see how they look. I guess let's give them an open. I'm sure surely they must look pretty much like that on the front, but you never know. We'll see. Let's give them an open. Let's do it. Okay, let's give these Thornton's Caramel Shortcake Bites, milk chocolate variety, an open. So let's do it. So there's a bit of flourishes going on here, and we can see, yeah. I mean, it's just the way they are with these sort of cake products. It's almost always like this, isn't it? Really, So what can I say? I don't know. You don't need it really, do you? You just don't need it. I mean, it just doesn't need to be done for these at all. It could just look like that. And I think that would be perfectly fine. I really do. I mean, you could have I guess the brown bits help you open it and things like this and stuff like that, but I guess it does give it a bit of a nicer colour. But if it looked just like that, I think that would be perfectly fine on the shelf. Wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Perfectly fine. It looked very nice. It looked just as nice. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not flattening it too well. It's hard. Like spinning plates, but you can see what I mean, Okay, let's give it open. And it's massive. They are pretty big as well. I mean, look at that. They're sort of maybe an inch each or something. I'm not sure, but okay. I imagine there's going to be lots of space, lots of gappage in here as well. Oh, look at that. We're missing one. Well, look at that. It's literally not in there. Well, I've never seen that before. That's the first. I have never seen that before. Yeah, I mean, I've never, and the one's damaged. Look at that. Well, that's pretty terrible, isn't it? I mean, that's pretty terrible. Because don't forget, these are weighed. Well, they should be weighed. Presumably they're not. But when they're done on the conveyor belts, or whatever, they should be weighed at the end of the line to check that they weigh what they should weigh. Because this is a standard size. Maybe give or take a half a gram or something. But this should weigh the exact same amount every time it leaves the. It leaves the leaves the conveyor belt of the production line, and it should be rejected. And they have quite, they do that to check for imperfections, like if something's crept into it or something like that. Clearly something's gone wrong here, so that's a bit rubbish, isn't it? So, well, I mean, there's lots of wasted space anyway, but there's definitely wasted space there, and it does say there's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm not imagining it. Yes. No, there's no tricks there. You saw me open it. So yeah, disappointing that for sure. Very poor quality control there. Okay, let's have a look how they stack up against the look of them on the front. And I think actually, in fairness, it's a shame really, because I think they do look pretty much spot on as to what they look like on the front. If not, yeah, I think they do. Obviously, it's a bit not quite consistent. You can see the biscuit bit base on the bottom there is a bit sort of thick at one point, but generally I think that's pretty spot on actually. I'm quite impressed with that. Let's check another one, check it's not randomly, well, not a bit of luck. No, I think they're pretty good. I mean, if anything, you'd say there's less biscuit, which I think is probably possibly a good thing. We can see here it's quite inconsistent. That one side's got a lot there of caramel. Seems to be where it's dripped off, but I think, yeah, I think generally not too bad. Not too bad at all. Yeah, but clearly you can see here you could fit in so much more than what you do. So I mean, I don't, it's hard to sort of to show it, but yeah, there's I mean, well, you can fit 4 of them at least because there's 4 in here. So you could at least fit 2 more in the length. Just trying to see roughly. Yeah, so really you could get around 6 of them, in the tray there. So we got, so that's 6. You could probably fit, how many could you fit along here? So without the flourishes, which is probably the low width of one of these again, you could do a 6 by 5. So what's that, 30? So you could use 10 of them. So you could fit 30 in this space alone. And don't forget there's these flourishes as well, which cover the edge, and they're basically the same length as one of them, pretty much. That's another layer of 10. So you could fit 40 basically. I'm not being too mathematical there, I've not measured it, but pretty much you could fit an extra, could fit 40 into this space that's given you with the wrapper. You can see is over a good couple more lengths over here. We could fit two more in them, pretty much. Maybe not quite, but you get the gist of it. Yeah, I think we'll go with 40 there. You could fit 40 more, 40 into this space, pretty much. As I say, give or take. As I say, it's not. Well, I think you could. Yeah, I think we can give him that. I think we can say 40, but at least, well, the point is, you get 10 in there. You can definitely fit. You can definitely fit 30 into this tray space, and possibly another 10 based on the flourish at the side. But one was missing for mine, so very disappointing. So I think, we can't. I've never seen that before. Obviously, it probably happens. One in every, I don't know, million or something like that. But the gist of it is, in all my reviews for all these products, when I've counted how many things have been in there, I've done 700 odd reviews now, and many of which have been these kind of cake bar things with trays. I've never seen one where it's been missing one before, or never had one where there's been fewer biscuits or whatever than has been said on the pack. So yeah, so this is pretty poor really, especially for a brand like Thornton's, and especially, I'd say, to have one whole one missing. I'd say they weigh these things on the factory when it comes at the end. They weigh them to make, or they should be weighing them to make sure there's no imperfections, there's no rat jumped into it or anything like that. And it's literally for things like that. There's no foreign body in there. They weigh them to check. Presumably they're only weighing to see if it weighs more, not less. So that's why they've missed it. Presumably, I can only assume, unless they're not checking for any imperfections. But I can't believe that, because that would be really bad. But yeah, so they should be weighing to see if it weighs what it should weigh. Not only if it weighs more than it. So it's pretty poor, but they look okay. They've got the look, that's for sure. There we go. I don't think there's much point really cutting one of these. I think you can get, you can clearly see what it's about. Can't you? It's not. Well, we'll give it a cut anyway. We're here. Why not? We can just have a look at the biscuit bottom. Actually, it's quite nice, doesn't it? There's definitely a bit of texture to the biscuit bottom. You can see nice layers. Yeah, we'll give it a measure. Actually, we haven't measured it, have we? So we use the old calipers, the caliperoonies. It's about 2.5, 2.6. Do it from the other side as well. Is it a perfect square? Not quite. The other side. Perfect cube, 2.8. So yeah, it's not quite. It is a bit more weight. Well, we knew that really when I was pressing down. It's a bit. It's not really a cube. It's sort of more of a. It's wide on one side, and the height roughly not quite consistent here, but about 1.4. Okay, right. I'll give it a chop down the middle. Nice, nice chop there. Yeah, I mean, I think I've pushed the biscuits into the caramel a bit there. You can see where it's kind of pushed up a bit. With a knife, I think. Yeah, I think that's what's happened there. Not bad though. Yeah. Okay, well I think we should give them a taste. Let's do it. Let's give them a taste. Right, okay, let's give these Thornton's caramel shortcake bites a taste. So it says 10 on them. I only got 9 in my pack, which you would have seen if you'd seen the previous part of the video, which is very disappointing. So pretty poor, but they look pretty much like they do on the front of it. So let's give them a taste and see how they taste. So yeah, let's give it a go. Not bad, not bad. They taste quite typical. They taste like the ones you get in supermarkets, you know. They don't taste any more indulgent or anything like that. Yeah, not bad, not bad. It just tastes. The caramel's not very. Hasn't got much of a taste to it. Although the biscuit, the caramel's probably the strongest taste in there, but not very. Not a strong taste. The chocolate, you know, it'd be nice I think if the chocolate was thicker, because you can't really taste that. You know, I'm trying to see if I can. Oop, I can't. So I'm trying to see if I can take the chocolate layer off. See if I can. There we go. So I took the chocolate layer off here. So let's have a see. It's okay. There's not much of a taste to it, to be honest with you. The caramel was just I took a bit of the biscuit off there, so it's mainly caramel tasted there. Yeah, and the caramel's got a bit of a caramel taste, but not very much. The biscuit doesn't really taste of anything. Yeah. You know, the more about the I mean, there is definitely a taste there, but there's not really much of one. A bit disappointing, really. Yeah, a bit like the supermarket ones, as I say, not really, nothing too special. Yeah. Yeah, you can't. It's not like you can't taste anything when you're eating it, but I think it's, you know, it's more more like a set of textures and tastes. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to sort of, you know, but when you analyze, hard to say really what's going on here. But when you analyse it, there's not really not much going on. It's a bit I don't know. Yeah, I think it does. As I say, it doesn't taste any different than the ones you normally have. Just as these sort of ones you get in those plastic containers in the supermarket. But just when you sort of taste it, you can tell that there's not much really there. You know, when you sort of come to really think about it, which I've not really done before. I've not really reviewed this before, but yeah, it just tastes a bit of. There's substance, but not much taste. Bit of a funny one, really. Yeah, I think they are pretty much an average tasting shortcake bite, but as a bigger picture goes, it is quite below average, really. And I think the fact that I was missing one in this box as well, one of them has been quite damaged as well. This one here, I didn't really emphasise that before, but this one you can see has been quite damaged somehow. I don't know what's going on there. Obviously, I think it's possibly been involved with why one of them's missing. I'm not sure. Something seems to have gone wrong, but that's pretty poor quality control. I've never seen that one missing in the pack before. It specifically says it's 10 on them as well. Sometimes they say average per pack on the back, you know, they'll say, you know, a pack contains on average 15 biscuits or whatever, and they'll kind of, you know, they'll be sort of saying, well, you know, you should get 15, but you might have 14 or something like that. But I've never had it where there's not been 15. I've reviewed quite a few of these sort of like digestive, you know, McVitie's digestive things. But this one specifically says you get 10. And there's 10 specific slots, and 10 will weigh a certain amount. So you can have the weightage on here. I don't know if it says actually. Tells you it's well, per serving is 12 grams, but it doesn't give you. I can't see actual overall weight actually, which is strange. Yeah, normally it tells you the weight, but yeah, there's no. I can't see any weight in here at all. Flavor behind there. Strange one, but yeah, a bit poor these ones. I think the actual shortcake bites themselves, you know, as I say, they're an average shortcake bite, but they're a below average treat, you know. And I think the fact that I was missing one in here is pretty poor as well. So it's got to be a 2 out of 5, I think. Yeah, just pretty poor. Just don't taste that great at all. Not very memorable. And I was missing one, and you can fit so many more in the pack as well. What did we calculate? It was something like you get 10 in the pack, and you can fit at least 35. Well, 30 in the actual cardboard plastic tray itself, and then the flourishes on either side should allow you to have an extra 10. But we'll say an extra 5 just because, you know, there's perhaps, you know, I was perhaps being pushing a bit far, but you can at least. But I was pretty certain, you know, you could pretty much get another 10 in there. So 35 to 40 you could fit in the space, but you only get 10. Well, you get 9 in my case. Pretty poor. Yeah, 2 out of 5 really. I'm assuming most people get 10 in there, but as I say, that quality control is pretty bad. They should be weighing for sure to know when it leaves the production line that it's got the right amount in, but they're only weighing to see if there's more, not less, than the weight allowance. So, you know, more being so they can check there's no foreign matter in there, but there could be in this one because there could have been something else in that square, you know, so, you know, who knows what it could have been, you know what I mean, and maybe they wouldn't have picked it up, I don't know. So yeah, it's a bit poor, that really, poor quality control, not a great taste, pretty average bite really, but below average overall on the chocolatometer on the treat scale. So 2 out of 5 for sure. Maybe it could even really be less really because of the quality control. It'd be 2 out of 5 anyway. I think I can't really reduce it lower, you know, because of that missing thing. I think that would just be a bit too much. But if it was nicer, I would have lowered it down even further. So if it was sort of a 3 out of 5 average taste, I would have lowered it to a 2 as well anyway. But so I'm not reducing the mark because of the missing cube, in this case, missing square or whatever. But yeah, so it is just a genuine 2 out of 5. But I'd say if it was a 3 out of 5, I still would have lowered it because I would have lowered it back again anyway. So it's a below average taste, yeah, and just poor quality control issues. So yeah, 2 out of 5. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, check out the YouTube member program as well. It's a great way to support the channel, truly is. As I say, there is sort of bonus content there, depending on which tier you pick. Different levels of bonus content as well, so check it out, read it carefully. Leave a comment for free, always great to hear from you. And check out the Discord channel as well. It's a lovely way for you to actually directly get in touch with me. It'd be great to see you there. Links in the description. Take care everyone, have a great day. Bye for now. See ya. Bye.